20 years, man. That's a long time. From childhood to full-grown adult. I remember when I was 8 years old when the first Kingdom Hearts came out, and now I'm 28. Wow, time is a cruel mistress indeed. Anyways, existential crises aside, I thought now would be a great time to celebrate Kingdom Hearts turning 20 by honoring it with my top 10 moments in the franchise up to this point. I mean, let's be real here, Kingdom Hearts has a lot of great moments, but I had to try to narrow this down to my top 10, which is a very challenging thing to do. So hey, no hate on any opinions here, and let's get this show on the road. Alright, so Kingdom Hearts has always been a marriage between Disney and Final Fantasy, them coming together onto one game. Now don't get me wrong, I love the Disney content, but the Final Fantasy stuff is what intrigued me to the franchise first and foremost. And one of the moments that showed me that Final Fantasy flair that I wanted was during the 1000 Heartless battle. You got all the characters surrounded by Heartless, everything seems hopeless, and there in the center, you see Cloud, you see Leon back to back, they're being snarky with each other, and they're going at it. That's the kind of stuff that gives me that satisfying fan service itch. Also, it was just kind of cool.
Think you can handle this many?
Well, might be tough if one more shows up.
Then that'll have to be the one I take care of.
What? You're fighting too?
This one's cheating because it's multiple moments, but because they're so closely related thematically and lore-wise, I think it gets a pass. And that would be every character's ending in Birth by Sleep. We knew from the start of the game these characters were doomed because, well, we haven't seen any of these characters beforehand, and we knew this was a prequel. So, you know, do the math. But what I didn't expect is how I would feel at the end of every one of these characters' campaigns. Man, all of them with themes of sacrificing oneself for the sake of your friends, while in the background being manipulated by one man and all of his actions because you thought you could trust him. Even though he seemed kinda suspicious from the start to all of us playing the game. But this one gets on the list because of the thematic connection and the feelings it gave me, and how it impacted the future going forward. You're on an adventure to save your friend and the girl of your dreams. After a 30 to 40 hour roller coaster ride, you fight an incredibly handsome man who turns into a boat and is yelling about supreme darkness? Yeah, well, after you save the world and everything is turning back to normal, this happens.
Kyrie! Sora! Kyrie! Remember what you said before? I'm always with you too. I'll come back to you. I promise! I know you will!
What a beautiful yet melancholic way of ending a fantastic game. Before the HD remasters came out, there was no skip cutscene option for Kingdom Hearts. This means whenever you died, you'd have to re-watch the same moments.
Forget it! There's no way you're taking Kyrie's heart!
Over
Forget it! There's no way you're taking Kyrie's heart!
and over again.
Forget it! There's no way you're taking Kyrie's heart!
Because of this man, there are moments that are etched into my brain, and they give me a fight or flight response. One of those moments being this.
So, I shall release you now, princess. Complete the keyhole with your power. Open the door. Lead me into everlasting darkness.
There's no way you're taking Kyrie's heart!
Poor baby boy Roxx. You just wanted to enjoy your last week of summer vacation with your friends. Too bad you have cloaked figures all around you speaking cryptically, telling you what you're supposed to do. And it all ends up with you angry and confused. And sadly enough, despite all of these feelings he has, that shows he is an individual that deserves to live. But now, the only path forward for him is to relinquish his right to life to bring back someone he hasn't even met before. He just knows his name is Sora.
Sora. You're lucky. Looks like my summer vacation is over.
Roxx just can't catch a break. After working your 9 to 5 for an evil organization, kinda relatable, all you wanna do is relax with your friends and eat ice cream while goofing off. Too bad your employer had something else in mind.
Am I the one who did this to you?
No. It was my choice to go away now. It's too late for me to undo my mistakes. But you can't let Xemnas have Kingdom Hearts. You can't. Goodbye, Roxx. See you again. I'm glad I got to meet you. Oh, and of course, Axel too. You are both my best friends. Never forget. That's the truth.
No! Shion! Who else will I have ice cream with?
You know what, Roxx? I'll eat ice cream with you. I remember little me rewatching this cutscene over and over again on my DS.
Why do I always get stuck with the icky jobs?
Axel,
Shion, what are you gonna do?
I've decided that I have to go back to where I belong.
Well, to be honest, I always felt that was best right from the very beginning. But you know, it still really bugs me. Something about this just stinks.
It's for the good of everyone.
But how do you know that? Everybody thinks they're right.
This is right.
They're gonna destroy you!
Please don't hold back, Axel. Promise.
What's your problem? You both think you can do whatever you want. Well, I'm sick of it. Go on, you just keep running. But I'll always be there to bring you back!
Quentin Flynn does such a fantastic job showing Axel's frustration and anguish at the same time. This is probably my top performed moment in the entire franchise. I could probably make a whole video about this one moment alone, but you know, this is the top 10, so we gotta move on. Alright, so this one here is another one of those kind of a cheat moment. You see, When Kingdom Hearts 3 was coming out, everybody was speculating and theory crafting how they were going to end all of the story arcs they had built up to this moment. But to be real, I wasn't emotionally ready for what I saw. The reunion of the Birth by Sleep trio and the Sea Salt trio. So many awesome things happen in these two reunions. So first you have the Sea Salt trio, right? Every moment with Xion, when she's fighting Sora, and Sora's just holding her back, saying you don't need to fight anymore. And when she stops Xemnas from doing the killing blow against Axel. And then it all climaxes with Roxx coming back. Then you have the Birth by Sleep trio. All hope is lost, all the friends are about to die, and it happens. The Guardian finally rips off its mouth cover and proclaims that it will protect his friends. Terra's revival was just as hype as you could imagine. Ever since Birth by Sleep and the birth of the Guardian, we knew this was coming. Here you are, standing in front of Xehanort. Before you can fight him, you must face the Naught Court, which comprises of Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness, Xemnas, and Xehanort himself, but from the past. This is probably my favorite fight in the base game, but man, after the defeat of each Naught, the cutscene that plays, Young Xehanort has nothing to say but some ambiguous threat, but it's Ansem and Xemnas where the real heart of the moment is. These two villains have been dogging you throughout the entire game series, having their final goodbyes. And you know what? Like everything else in the series, it's heartwarming. With Riku and Ansem both saying that they're going to miss each other, Ansem with his compliment, "Your strength is vaster than darkness." It all just gives you the feeling if things were a little bit different, they could have been friends. Same with Xemnas. Xemnas explains his regret for how he's treated everybody he knew, and how he's learned the heart is more than just anger. The first feeling he felt in ages is loneliness. Alrighty, so before we get to number 1, let's get to our honorable mentions. We have Yeetus Vanitas.
Need to look. Pause it, quick!
We have Woody Xehanort Smackdown.
Yeah, I am a toy. And a friend. My guess is no one's ever loved you before.
Donald saying Sephiroth.
Sora and Sephiroth.
Goofy's death.
Look out! Wow!
Goofy! They'll pay for this.
And every moment with Billy Zane playing Ansem in Kingdom Hearts 1.
I've come to see the door to this world. This world has been connected, tied to the darkness. And so this boy sought out to escape from his prison. He sought a way to cross over into other worlds, and he opened his heart to darkness.
Now on to number 1. This was the perfect ending to Kingdom Hearts. No, one of the perfect endings to a trilogy of games. What am I talking about? The ending to Kingdom Hearts 2, of course. So you have Kyrie, you know she's safe, so the entirety of Kingdom Hearts 2, you're looking for your friend Riku, right? Through, as I could only really describe as, a roller coaster ride of emotions and events, Sora and Riku finally make it back to the islands that they tried to escape. And that's where it happens, baby. You got Kyrie there, confirming that you have finally made it home. Sora looking back at her, saying, "We're back." Then, with the lucky charm he got from Kyrie in Kingdom Hearts 1 in his hand, they reach out and she helps him up. My God, my heart at that moment. But you know what? Truth be told, there are way too many amazing moments in this series, and honestly, this top 10 is changing on a regular basis. But you know, that's what happens when you have a 20-year-old series that is action-packed and emotional as this one. There are tons of moments here that I might have just overlooked or didn't come to mind at the moment. So tell me in the comments what your top 10 are, and let us celebrate this series turning the big 2-0.